What's up, Trad Nation? This is
Breaking Trad.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Breaking Trad. I'm Alan.
And I'm Matt.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Brittany.
Brittany, what's going on today?
I don't know.
It looks great, by the way.
It does not look great.
I mean, I think it suits you.
Wait, keep rolling, keep rolling.
Oh, Amanda's gonna foof up for me.
Oh, she's gonna mess her hair up too.
Oh, no, she's coming to fix it.
Oh, okay. So please stand by while we have a little spa moment. We're getting everything situated. There was nothing wrong with her hair. What are you doing?
It's just real. It's not a little. It's way floofy.
Your headphones are too
Okay. Do you,
So on today's episode of the Breaking Trad Hair Shop,
yeah.
BT Barber and style.
Barber.
Barbress.
Barbrous. Is that how you pronounce it?
I
We're
think
going
it's
with it.
hairdresser.
So everybody recovered yet? Everybody good?
Yeah.
All right.
Almost.
Except you.
Except for me. Yeah, I'm wore out, but I'm good. So today, our guest from Harrison, Ohio, winner of the 2022 Lancaster Classic in women's barebow. Yeah, did I mess that up? Broke the record, or recently broke a USAA record in barebow in her class. The previous record, if I'm not mistaken, was 9:95, and she shot a 10:11 to do so. And just recently won the Arizona Cup, all at the age of 16. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Erin Heyob to the stage, or to the podcast.
Where are you?
Erin, you there?
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi guys.
Hey, Erin.
So, how you doing today, Erin?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, excited to have
good.
you on. Yeah. So, Erin, I guess we'll get kicked off. Everybody good if I start it? Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, and I want it this time.
Well, go for
I'm
it.
just kidding.
So how long have you been shooting, Erin?
Okay, so this is the third year about that I've been shooting, but this is my second competitive indoor season, or like season total.
Mm-hmm.
But for the first year that I shot, all I did was I did like beginners classes at the range that I shoot at.
Wow, that's insane. So you're only 3 years deep, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you start in school like a school team, like
NASP or something like
something
that?
like that?
No, unfortunately, my school does not have a team, so I kind of just had to get into it on my own. Like, it was something like I always wanted to try it,
Mhm.
and because I'm a huge book nerd, and it's like I read like all the books, like Hunger Games and stuff like that, and I just
Yeah,
like
there you
always
go.
like, yeah, it always seemed interesting to me, and I was like, it would be so fun to just try that. But I'm really introverted, and I just like don't like starting things by myself. And so it's really weird because I have two younger brothers, and one of them, his name's Isaiah. He came home one day from school, and he was like, "Hey, Erin, I think I want to try archery." And I was like, "Dude, I'll do it with you." So
There we go.
that's how we got into shooting. Is we started shooting the beginners classes together at the range that I shoot at now, and he
Uh-huh.
ended up dropping it because he didn't really like it, and he liked football better. So that was good for him. But I got asked to join the team at our range, and ever since then, I was really nervous when I first started, but I love everybody there, and it's just so much fun shooting.
Oh
That's
yeah, for
awesome.
sure. So it's kind of a two-part question, but after 3 years, you've been shooting for 3 years. How do you go about, preparing for these shoots that you attend?
I feel like a lot of practice is pretty much the only answer I can give you. I practice a lot, usually like 5 to 6 days a week, after school and after work every day. And I just, whatever tournament's coming up next, I try to practice for that tournament. So during indoor season, that was always indoor practice. But and right before Arizona, I was like still practicing indoor because I had like one more indoor thing, but then I also needed to start shooting outdoor.
Yeah.
for Arizona Cup. So I was like rotating between 2 different bows and different distances and everything.
Wow.
But right now it's mainly I'm practicing for outdoor and I'm practicing for field at the same time because I'm going to field nationals.
So,
Oh, wow.
what is that? I may be mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that South Dakota or one of the Dakotas?
Yeah, South Dakota.
So you're coming to Birmingham if you qualify?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, me and Alan already got tickets. Like we're coming to watch the field archery.
So you and Fawn both hopefully coming to Birmingham.
Yep.
That's
Awesome,
gonna be awesome.
So who's got the next one, you guys?
I can go.
Go for it.
Okay. All right, Erin. So, your parents seem very proud of you. I know I saw your mom's posts. So, what are some of the conversations like that happen at the dinner table? I know like you're gone all the time. So, like, what do they have to say about everything?
I think that it's definitely challenging sometimes because like I do practice so much because this is something that I love and that I'm really dedicated to. So it is kind of hard because I really don't have much of a life outside of archery. So I feel like that can definitely be difficult sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, my family is really supportive. Like my dad's and my mom are always asking like what they can do to help me, or if I'm having a problem with my shooting, or just like I'm just not feeling right like I'm feeling like something's not right that day. Like they're always on my side, just trying to help me to figure it out and do what needs to be done. And my brothers are all super supportive too.
So is the scheduling, is it like, so we got to get Isaiah to football practice and then we've got to take Erin to Arizona. Is that how that works?
Well, so for a lot of practices, like indoor at the range, I shoot in Fairfield. That's where Archery World is. And so I have my driver's license, so I drive myself there.
Mm-hmm.
But my coach, for outdoor, we shoot at one of my coach's houses, and he lives in Mason, which is a little farther away.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mom will take off and do that, it's just incredible of her, honestly, because it's like right now she's an accountant, and so it's tax season, and she still manages to like do all of that, have hectic days at work, and still get me to practice whenever I need to. That's it's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome. I agree.
And I just want to take a moment to say that you practice 5 to 6 days a week, and now I'm starting to see where I've gone wrong. Because me and Alan, we have 5 children. So between running them around everywhere, I'm like, I just want to practice one day, please.
Yeah.
So that's some commitment. Like you get it worked in there. That's very impressive.
Yes, especially at your age.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that takes some commitment.
All right, so let's talk about the Classic. So you qualified 6th in your preliminary rounds, then qualified 3rd in eliminations. There was 57 women, and you was one of the 2 16-year-olds there. It was your first time to be at the Classic. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience? Like what was it like, day one and all the way through the finals?
Yeah. Okay. So day one, I walked in to the facility and I just could not believe how big it was because, like I said, last year was my first competitive season, and a lot of the tournaments that I did were remote because of COVID. So I'd never really been to many like in-person tournaments that like I'd seen that many people shooting, and it was awesome to see so many people there because when I was doing like the remote tournaments, like you couldn't really see all the people involved and all the work that went into it and things like that. So it was just nice. And it was even more incredible to see all of the barebow archers there. I've never seen that many barebows in my entire life. And I thought it was so cool.
All right.
But yeah, so I went in to the first day shooting, which was qualifications for me. And I have no idea how I ended up doing anything with that because I actually went to Lancaster with my mom right before qualifications to get some extra practice in, and I shot at their range for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like a total mental breakdown that day because
the stress, I guess, was coming at you. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't necessarily that. Like I had shot tournaments before, and I was like, it's not going to be a big deal. But because we had to travel, I didn't really need to, but I broke my bows down, even my backup bow and my regular bow.
Mm-hmm.
I broke them down. And I've done that before. Like that's how I first like packed up my bows when I first got my initial bow. But like the bow that I was using, I'd never broken down before. And so I think that it was more just like my mental game was off. And so when I put it together to practice at Lancaster and I shot it, and it was a really bad shot, and I kind of just like, I was like, it doesn't feel right. Something has to be wrong. Like, it's not okay.
Oh,
But
no.
eventually I calmed down enough to figure out that it was just me being dumb, and I was
No.
Oh,
How does that
goodness.
practice range look? Do they have like lights that, just like they do on the stage, or?
So, well, where I practice at their actual like archery store. So, and
Yeah.
it was pretty small, but I mean, you could fit a lot of people on the line, but it kind of reminded me of my range where it's like the people kind of like knew each other and there was like a system in place. So that was nice. But after I left there, then I went and I shot my qualifications, and my qualifications went pretty good. I was shooting pretty good, doing what I wanted to do, but I've always had a problem, like I said earlier, with like getting in my head, and I tend to be very score oriented a lot of the time, which is something that I'm working on. But I ended up, I don't even remember how, but I figured out how many points, because Chrissy Lyons, she was ahead of me, I think, or somebody else. And I just wanted to get like top 5. And so I got into my head like the last couple ends, like the last, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 ends, that I just needed to get this every end and I would be in 5th.
Yeah.
And then like, of course, after saying that, I got so stressed out about it that I didn't end up shooting that. So I did shoot a little bit lower than I wanted to, but it was still good.
I got you.
But definitely room for improvement.
That sounds like Alan
Yeah.
in his head.
I'm too down. I'm too down.
He's
down.
like adding and multiplying and trying to figure out his average like
Gotta-
points
gotta
per
pick it
target
up.
on that 3D season, and I'm like, what are you like? You're making me anxious.
But so that was another thing I was going to ask in this question was, like, are you aware of there was 57 women, right? So was you able to be aware of everybody's score?
So, I mean, like during my qualifications, like I was definitely super, super aware of my score. And I kind of was during eliminations too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when my second elimination was against Chrissy Lyons. That was my second and my final elimination. And we were so close the entire time. Like it all came down to the last end who was going to win, because initially she was beating me. And so that was like, I was definitely kind of focusing on it then. But during finals, I don't know, I guess like a flip kind of switched, and I didn't really see anything except for the target. I know that sounds dumb, like how can you not? Like you walked in and all these people were there, but I really only did, and I was surprised. Like I didn't focus on my score that entire time, and I was just taking it slow and breathing and focusing on my form, which is, I think, probably what helped me to perform as well as I did, was the fact that I was more concerned with my form and not the score.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Brittany, you got the
You got
next
a
one?
question?
Well, so we noticed that you mentioned that your tab is leaving a black mark on your face. So have you figured that out yet?
So I don't have like a real like been proved like issue with it, but I think that it's probably because that tab is the tab that I've been using. I think that's like the first tab that I've got, so I've been using it for a while, and I think that the leather has just been worn down enough that like it rubs into my skin, I guess, like the pigmentation of it.
Yeah.
But after Lancaster, Mr. Yost was kind enough to give me a brass tab. And so, yeah, I haven't cut it yet. I need to start using it, but I just don't like change, so I haven't done it yet. But he did give me that as another option to see if that would work too. And he also told me when he was at NFA Indoor Nationals with me, and he told me that there's this girl from another country who has the same, I think it was Canada, but I'm not for sure. But apparently she has the same issue. It's just not as vivid as mine is, but she also gets a mark on her cheek from her tab.
Well, you know what they say, right? The two
What?
the two most superstitious sports that you can be in is baseball and archery.
Seems about right.
Yeah. You
Don't-
can't
you're
change. Don't
afraid-
change anything.
Yeah, afraid to change. Like I bought a tab, but I'm too scared to use the tab because I've been shooting with the same glove for like 5
Yeah.
years, and then I've had the
Yeah,
same
I
bow.
never should.
I'm a bit. I just changed bows, but it's working out fine. But I was so scared to change like the bow that I was shooting.
Yeah. I feel that. I always get so scared whenever I like shoot new strings or new bows or anything. I'm like, it's not the same.
It's gonna mess something up. I know. I feel that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so we know that you just mentioned, you like to like when you was up on the podium, I guess, right? Would that be?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you were shooting, and I mean, you were wearing it out, right? So you were trying to stay calm and focused. And I know you said you like to focus on your process, right?
Mhm.
So, kind of go into details exactly what that process is.
Okay, so a lot of it is just keeping myself from losing confidence in myself during my shot is because that's something that I've struggled with, and my coach will tell you that any day. But a lot of it, once I got up there, making sure that I was steady before every shot. And I tend to, when I'm nervous, I either shoot really, really fast or really, really slow. I actually had an issue a while ago where I was holding for like almost as long as compound shooters because I got so concerned with it hitting the middle that I was holding until I thought I was absolutely sure it was going to hit the middle, but then it wouldn't because I was so fatigued.
Right.
So, yeah, so a lot of it was just making sure that I was breathing because I also don't do that. I don't breathe a lot. And so I was making sure that.
You don't breathe a lot.
No, it's an issue. But no, I had to make sure that I was taking deep breaths before and after every shot. That's why you'll see me like looking back at Paul Hems, who was in my coaching box, and he was telling me, Erin, you gotta breathe. And so, yeah, so I was making sure I was breathing. And then when I picked up my bow, I'd make sure I took it slow. And then because I had all those issues with shooting too fast or too slow, now when I get back to full draw, I count 1, 2, 3, and then I release.
I got you.
So, wait, you were talking about you do a 5 count.
I do a 5 count. That's a 5. But my 1 and 2 is bow up, draw down, anchor, 3, 4, 5, and release.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, but you're back 4, 3, 4.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm just curious because you were talking about holding it back. What poundage are you pulling on your bows in general? I know you have a couple different ones because you shoot different
Field,
field,
and
indoor. But what typically are you pulling back on in your bow?
So my indoor bow is 28 pound limbs, but it was gonna be 30, but I had to move back down to 28 because I had a chest injury that put me out for a little while.
Okay.
So I had to move back down from doing that again to make sure that I didn't inflame my chest again.
Understood.
But on my outdoor bow, I've been shooting 30 so far with hopes of possibly moving up this year or next year to 32 or higher. But I need to shoot 30 at least to be able to reach the distance that I need to outdoors.
Right,
That's what I was wondering because I know, like, what is typical field range?
Help us out there, Erin.
For field?
Yeah.
So last year, like there's all the different targets and they can be different distances depending on the target that you're shooting. But this year I'm actually shooting up. I'm shooting as a junior along with Maggie and Elizabeth, who are on USAT with me because we're trying to make the world team.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% what those distances are because I haven't started really practicing for that yet.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's different depending. There's like 4 different targets and the distances vary depending on which one. I think for juniors, the farthest that you shoot is 45.
45. Okay.
On the biggest target.
Yeah, I know some of them go all the way out to like 50, 60. So I shoot.
Yeah.
I shoot. Mine's like 29 pounds. But I've always shot. The first bow I started shooting was 25, and then 30 and 29 is the max that I pull because we do 3D archery tournaments, and I'm trying to get in as many rounds as I possibly can to just better my score each time. But that'll wear you out. So if I do 10 rounds in a 3-day weekend, that's 300 arrows shot. So
Right.
that's why I keep mine so light so I don't just completely wear myself out. That's why I was curious what you were pulling back.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right here?
Yep.
All right. So a little more on the Lancaster Classic, just because we've watched it multiple times to watch everybody. Because we've had a bunch of we had Fawn and wanted to make sure we had all the details. But so you worked your way up, right? And it comes down to you and Fawn. And you know, Fawn. Everybody knows Fawn. She's won just about everything you possibly can win.
Except for the Lancaster. That's a
not
joke.
This one,
I'm
not
joking.
this. She's gonna beat you up. She's coming. She's gonna come after you when we see her.
And Amanda's gonna give her all the permission.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him. But so we know that you guys shoot together. But what was the feeling? Was it just like another shoot at the club, or were you feeling a little more pressure? Was it stressful? Like, what was going through your head knowing that you were gonna be shooting against Fawn?
Okay, so after facing Christina second, after I beat Jill, that was a little bit stressful for me because she came out and she shot so good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I didn't even think that I was gonna get that far, but then so I was a little like wound up after that, like a little nervous. But then Fawn came out, and Fawn just has a way of just like breaking all the tension in the room, but just because she loves to joke around and like everybody knows her. And she just includes everybody, like jokes around with the audience and stuff like that. So
She's
it
up
just
there
kind
having
of
a good time, yeah.
Yeah. So exactly. So she was just kind of putting my mind at ease. And it it was kind of like we were just shooting like another league or like at our range and stuff like that, because it was kind of nice because it wasn't something entirely new to me. It was kind of more comforting because we had done it before and I knew her. And especially like when I'd never been there before and I'd never been like on TV before or on a podium shooting before, it was nice to have that little bit of comfort.
A little bit of home there with you.
There was all this seriousness in your face. And then I, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like the second shot of the first end or second shot of the second end or something like that. And you hit an 11. I think she hit a 9 or something. And you come out and you hit an 11. And you went from like extremely serious to like shining like a light bulb, like you smiled from ear to ear.
You had a big grin on your face, that's for sure. No, I get that because I feel like Jill, like Jill and Christina just looks like they were very serious and like into it.
Yes.
Which like
Jill
they were
intimidated me. She was like so dead serious the entire time. And I was nervous and trying not to show it. And she was just like so calm and collected. I was like, what?
I know.
Trying to hold it together.
See, that it worked to your advantage then, having Fawn up there with you.
Yeah.
It calmed you down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when it ended, she jumped across to your podium like she was going to come in and choke you or something.
I think that more than anybody, she was excited for me.
Oh,
But I didn't know what was really happening in the moment because between every end that we did, we knew who was in front because whoever was ahead, like whoever had the higher score at the moment got to choose like whether they wanted to go first or whether they wanted to go second.
Mm-hmm.
So we always like knew kind of who was ahead, and I knew it was close going into the last end. But after I shot the last end, I knew it was close, but I didn't know I'd won. But then like she did, and I didn't know, and she just jumped over, and I was like, oh, I guess I beat her.
Oh goodness. Oh yeah.
No, she came in for the hug.
Yep.
The support. That's what traditional archery is. Well, traditional archery, barebow archery in general.
Single string.
Single string.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
we go. Let's just
That's what
say
you're
that.
looking
Single
for.
string. That's what single string is all about.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So you can tell us or not, but she kind of whispered something in your ear. Do you want to tell us what y'all were talking about? What she was telling you?
Oh, she was just telling me that she was proud of me and that, she said in your interview that like you asked her if she would change anything, and she said no. And I think it was just because like obviously logically like I think she wanted to win too, but I think that it was just cool for her to see somebody who she shoots with also win and have a fun time doing it.
Right.
Especially since I'd never done anything like that before. So to see me enjoying it and like sharing kind of her thing with her, I think was an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, can I just say, like, you're very well spoken,
I
Erin.
was going to say the
Thank
same thing.
So we just seen on Facebook, of course, that you placed first in Arizona Cup. Tell us kind of how that went for you.
Okay, so that was my first outdoor tournament of this season. And let me just say, Arizona is drastically different from Ohio. In Ohio, the weather is always changing, and there is usually like 90% of the time clouds in the sky. In Arizona, it's hot and it's dry, and there is not a cloud to be seen. And so it was a struggle for me at first to adjust to how bright it was. My eyes weren't used to just like the overall brightness, and the target faces that we were using, they were the plastic ones and not the paper ones, and so there was a bit of a glare, and so it was hard to see exactly where you were aiming.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely struggled with that both days. I ended up getting first, but overall I shot good, but it wasn't what I'd been averaging, and it wasn't what I was hoping for. Because like for qualifications, I shot the first 6 ends, I shot at 277, and then the next 6 I shot at 274, I think, or something like that. And in practice, I had been like 280s, 290s range, so it wasn't that bad of a drop. But going into the second day, I don't know what happened. I think I was just I don't know. It was bright out again, and it was hot, and I was just like, I cannot do this.
So needless to say, you're really hard on yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. So, but I didn't shoot bad. It's just not exactly what I wanted to be shooting. Like, there's definitely room for improvement.
Right.
But yeah, the second day was a little bit rough. Even though I did win both of my elimination rounds, I was shooting a lot more lower scores than what I usually do and what I usually average. So it's definitely like that. Like, again, like that was my first outdoor tournament of the season. So there's definitely stuff to work on and perfect. So it is what it is.
That's kind of crazy though, because you don't ever really take that into account, like the climate change that you're like,
Yeah.
you went from like grass and trees to like desert and sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's also a 3-hour difference there. So like the time change is kind of crazy too.
because it's what, mountain
Jet lag,
time?
yeah.
Is it mountain time?
It's Pacific.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ugh. That's crazy. So pretty much what you did when you got home is started Googling the weather in South Dakota, North Dakota. Where is it at? South Dakota?
I can't remember now.
Get prepared.
Yes, the Field Nationals is in South Dakota. I've
South
not looked
Dakota.
at the weather yet.
Yeah,
But that's
so
a good point. I should do that.
Is it so much above sea level, below? Because I know I've been out towards Arizona and like the air is so dry. We're in Alabama, so the humidity is like 99% here. You go out, west, and it gets so dry. Like I got sick from like the dry air. Like it was bad. Did you get sunburnt?
I did not. There was one other kid from my range who shot it. His name's Parker Braddock. He's a compound shooter.
Yeah.
And he got super sunburned because he refused to put on sunscreen. But I reapplied, so I was safe.
That's what I was following. Chrissy Lyons and her sunburn arm, like
the tan line from her arm guard.
Yeah, the tan line from her arm guard. Yep. So, but where am I at? I'm sorry.
The
I was
O.
talking. Oh, okay. He's pointing to me for the next question, Erin. So, we saw where you said you typically shoot 5 to 6 days a week. Does that leave? I mean, do you have any time to do like teenager things? Like, I don't know what y'all do in Ohio, but our kids go to the movies and to the mall and that kind of thing. Our teenage girls do anyway. Do you ever have time to do that kind of thing?
I don't have a lot of time, but I do have some time, and I try to make the most of it.
Yeah.
But since I do practice, like that's not something that's a burden to me. Like, I love shooting, and I would never change it.
Yeah,
and a lot of my friends come from archery, so when I'm at archery, I'm hanging out with them anyway.
Exactly.
Oh,
So-
see?
Exactly.
Yeah,
It
it's a
works
good
out.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
not saying it was derogatory. What? I guess what we were trying to imply was that, like, are you still a teenager to a certain extent, or does like have you let archery consume you like most people, like me, of course?
Yeah, it's like the bug. It
Yeah.
bites, and you like it's all that you do. Like
Right.
us, like if we're not podcasting about it, then we're traveling to shoot
or
and
talking about it.
or yeah. We
Yeah,
know how it goes.
I think that overall, like, I don't do a lot of teenage stuff, but a lot of that is by choice because, again, I am super introverted and I would rather just stay at home. But yeah, I do. I go to school during the day, and then after that, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I work, and then I go to practice 5 to 6 days a week. So
That's great. Like,
yeah, not a lot of time for a lot of other stuff.
That's
but
awesome though that you're able to maintain school and a job and still be able to practice enough and then go out and kick tail in these competitions.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
It's very, very impressive.
Thank you.
So with all that going on, do you have any like goals like college and you want to be picked up like by a college team or something?
Okay, so I do want to go to college. I'm not sure what college or what I want to do yet, but I know that I want to go to college.
You could go to Alabama and Roll Tide, and then
Besides that, I think my goals are, as an archer, just to keep perfecting my form. Like, it's never going to be perfect. There's always room for improvement. Like, there's things that I fixed that are now unfixed that I'm working on fixing again. So it's always a battle, but yeah, just improving on that, and definitely making some improvements to my mental game, like I said earlier. And then I have a couple bigger goals, but
bigger goals. We'll elaborate. Let's go. Let's hear them.
well, one of my dreams, which is probably
Here we
going to
go.
sound unrealistic.
It's Breaking Trad
but-
exclusive, guys. Here we go.
Even like before I started competing, like when I was first getting into archery,
Mm-hmm.
It angered me so much that recurve was the only division in the Olympics, and so my dream is to get barebow added to the Olympics.
There we
Hey,
go.
that's an awesome goal.
Yeah, we're gonna work together and make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who do we need to
Yeah,
talk to?
Do we just start a petition?
Well-
What do we do?
Well, okay, so me and my coach have been talking, and the plan is that we're going to make a video because Elizabeth Likens, who is on the USA archery team with me, her dad's a photographer, so he said he would make a video for
There
us.
we
So
go.
we're going to kind of protest it that way and see how it goes.
That's awesome. You just like let us know what format that's going to be on, and we'll join in.
We'll push it.
All
Push it.
right, cool.
Make Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff. We'll- petition.org.
Well, if you I know you haven't been, you've only been shooting for 3 years or whatever, but what do you think, like somebody that's just getting into archery, like what is like the most important thing that they should concentrate on in your opinion?
I think probably there's a couple really important things. One, you need to trust yourself. Like, there's been many instances, like even like right before I went in to shoot finals for Lancaster, when I just didn't trust myself because I string walk, and so I was using like for qualifications and everything, like everything was fine. I was using my normal string walking, but when we go into the practice range for finals, they have it darkened and everything to try to simulate like what the actual finals room is like.
Right, right.
And I was shooting, and I was not shooting very well. All my arrows were going like all over the place just because I couldn't get a hang of the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I adjusted, and I got all new, like I got a new crawl and everything. And so, but then I went out in the finals, and I was like, you know what? If the first arrow's off, the first arrow's off. And so I just went back to doing my regular thing. And it turned out that that was the right thing to do all along, and that I just needed to trust myself enough in the first place to get it in the middle.
There you go. I think
a
that's
good-
a very good aspect.
Mhm.
That's good advice.
Agreed. I need to trust myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is we good, guys? Well, Erin, thank you very much for coming on the show. It really means a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
No,
this
we-
is great. This is a great interview.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
You did really well.
I had a terrific time. I can't speak for everybody.
No, it
Well,
was
of course.
awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. So, but But no, it was really cool. I appreciate you, getting back and getting in touch with us, or staying in touch with us and coming on the show. And
Can't wait to see where you go and what you do.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
You're going to end up with a medal. Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe.
Well, that's what we hope. We hope
Yeah.
you get that medal.
For sure. Well, all right. I guess we will see you. And well, not really sure when this one's gonna. Actually, we do have a date, but hopefully we see you at the boot camp.
Yeah, you'll see me there.
All
All right,
right.
terrific.
Looking forward to it.
All right, bye now.
Erin.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. We've reached the part of our show where we're going to read you some of the shoots that we know are going on. Of course, there are going to be more. And you can find a lot of these flyers on our Facebook page, Breaking Trad AL. Also, if you have flyers of shoots that are coming up for May and June, please send those in to us so we can make sure we get them out to everybody, as many people as possible. But it looks like we'll start off with the weekend of April 29th through May 1st. The Reinhardt 100 will be at the farm. That's going to be in New Albany, Indiana. We know some friends who are going up there. That one will be fun. We have not yet to get to go to one, and I really want to shoot the giraffe for some reason.
Okay, we're gonna
We got to make it.
figure it out. All right, then we've got Tennessee Classic at Twin Oaks Bow Hunters. That is located in Chapmansboro, Tennessee. You got to make sure you get you one of them Pappy Burgers. Registration's gonna open up noon on Thursday the 28th. Friday they'll have breakfast, lunch, a trade blanket, a team skirmish, and the toilet bowl challenge nap off that we're really excited about. We don't know why we're excited, but we are.
Very. I really need to know what this is.
I know. Saturday, April 30th, they're gonna have breakfast, range open, lunch and concessions. At 3:00, your range cards will have to be turned in for competition. Raffle drawing at that same time. Ceremony at 4. Potluck at 5:30. Or dishes need to be turned in for the potluck at 5:30. Potluck at 6. And then Sunday, shoot, church, self-bow, and all of that good jazz. So that is going to be April 29th through May 1st. I don't remember if I said that
Thursday,
part.
28th. Yep.
Thursday the 28th. Registration opens at noon.
All right. Next, we have the Alma Rod and Gun Club 3D Traditional Only Shoot, April 30th through May 1st. This one's going to be held in Alma, Wisconsin. I believe we may have shared that one. I need to go back through and make sure. I need to reshare everything. So y'all go to our Facebook page. I'll be looking for all these flyers and sharing them for all the details.
All right. May 7th, BHA of Jefferson County. It's going to be hosting the ASA qualifier at the Cornerstone Ranch in Mount Olive.
Ranch. May 7th. May 7th. We might be getting raunchy by then. I don't know. It might not be the raunchy month yet.
Not quite. Not quite.
All right. Baltimore Bowman Traditional Classic will be held May 13th through the 15th. That one will be in Glenarm, Maryland.
And IBO Chester Classic, May 13th through the 15th in Chester, Texas.
Hueco.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I like
I
it.
really need to ask him how do you pronounce that just to make sure. But the Hueco Bowman Archery Club in Waco, Texas, hosting a shoot. This one will be an ASA shoot for May 14th and 15th.
I'm going to say you got it right because it's Waco, Texas.
And
Waco.
Hueco. But there's a lot of names in Texas that are not pronounced like what you would think they are.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go on to the Reinhardt 100 at Central Arizona Bow Hunters Association in Casa Grande, Arizona, May 13th through the 15th.
And then you have a Tennessee ASA qualifier at Buck Hollow Bow Hunters, May 14th only. That will be a one-day shoot only.
And Kentucky Traditional Bow Hunters Fun Shoot, May 14th.
Another Reinhardt 100 at Echo Valley Archers, May 20th. Sorry, I put 30th on the paper. May 20th through the 22nd.
And we're going to take one step back because I forgot about this little guy. The Hollow Bend Bow Hunters Association in Russellville, Arkansas has a club shoot May the 7th. So we kind of jumped up and backwards there in the month. But at least we talked
May
about it.
15th.
Mhm.
All right. So May 15th, Whiskey City Traditional Archers will be hosting a shoot. Definitely will get that flyer posted up on our Breaking Tribe page.
And then we've got the Bow Up Against Breast Cancer 2022. It's May 21st and the 22nd at the Coleman Archery Park. It's a great shoot. All of the proceeds go to Lord, I can't remember. What?
Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
Yeah, but it's the one in Birmingham or something, right? Yeah. So make sure you come out to that one. Compound, traditional. It'll be mixed. They'll have raffles, and we'd love to see you out there.
And looks like the last one I have right now is going to be the Southern Traditional Archery Association. It's going to be held in Enid Lake, Mississippi, Saturday, May 21st and Sunday, May 22nd. It is a beautiful place. If you've never been, you're right there on the lake. Like, you just pop your tent up or back your camper in and you're good to go. But I think that is all we have. Like I said, please send us your flyers for the middle to end of May and June, and we'll make sure we get those out to everybody.
Everybody that was awesome.
Yep, definitely.
Yes.
I think for being 16 years old, extremely well put together.
Yeah, she's got a
she
good head on her shoulders.
Actually knows, more about it than I do, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think she's going to go really far.
Agreed.
Very, very far.
Mm-hmm.
I have lightning bolts happening
I mean,
Lightning bolts. What are you talking
in
about?
my body. That's all. Just have lightning bolts.
are
That's
you
all.
being shocked at it?
By something inside my body.
Okay. Well,
I mean, dang, she's already won like.
enough. You gonna try to make her stay at home next time?
Yeah, because I'm coming. Erin, you got to stay home. I'm sorry.
Well, so I guess that does it for another episode of Breaking Trad.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yes.
so.
Unfortunately, you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, who's who's it on? Jeez.
I don't know. Maddie, roll that outro.
Okay.
Guys, we're glad you could join us for this week's episode of Breaking Trad. We hope you had as much fun as we did.
You can catch the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
You can contact us at breakingtradpodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook at breakingtradal and on Instagram at breaking_trad. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel.
Remember to subscribe and follow us. That way you'll get notifications every time we drop a new episode.
Join us next week, and remember,
Make every shot count.